Hello, I'm Garima, an editor with the Fifth Estate. I have with me Deekshitha Bandaru, who is a candidate for the post of Hostel Affairs Secretary. So, my first question to you, Deekshitha, is that last year has seen the issue of hostel break-in in Sabarmati Hostel. As HAS, if something similar were to happen during your tenure, how would you respond to this without compromising on women's freedom?
Yeah, so whatever incident that happened in Sabarmati was like really unfortunate. If something similar of that sort happens in my tenure, then I wouldn't, have a slightest thought of restricting the freedom of people here, be it women or anybody as such. But my only focus will be on ensuring to identify the causes for this and. Increasing the amount of security that we will be having, be it a regular frisking about the of the technicians that will be entering a particular girls' hostels, or for the entry of unknown persons through any of the gates as such. But I would definitely not want our women or anybody of that sort to compromise on their freedom.
My next question is, what is the current system of grievance redressal when it comes to mess and hostel, and how do you propose to improve on that?
So the current redressal mechanism existing is one is through online Google form mechanism. Each mess hall will have a QR facility being pasted on the mess hall building, and by accessing this, the students can access the particular feedback G form of that particular mess building or the mess hall, and they can give their feedback through that. And there is also a complaint book that is placed near the mess manager as such. So, and the team contact details are also made available to the GSP through S-mails that are sent time and over again. And similar as for CMGFS as well, we have a Google form feedback mechanism, and there are complaint or what we call as the suggestion books that are made available. So apart from this, which is one of my manifesto point, again we're planning to have like live interaction sessions for both MES and CMGFS thing, wherein the committee members will be sitting down and gathering feedback, which increases the accountability about it. Yeah.
So one of the other issues that came up earlier this year was the blocking of mess allotment for students who had not paid their fees in advance, which, as you know, is a financial burden. If CCW were to do something similar during your tenure, how would you as HAS respond to it?
So regarding the blocking of mess allotment, if such a similar situation was to happen in my tenure, I wouldn't let that happen in the first place by ensuring to try out all possible other avenues, like the commitment letter that they were talking of, or the provision to pay the fee in installment and all of that. And if such an unfortunate situation again happens, then as a Hostel Affairs Secretary, I wouldn't take a step back to thinking or doing anything that would lead to escalating the situation. So before the situation escalates to something worse or something drastic, I will talk to the concerned authorities, and whatever mail was sent at a later point, I'll ensure that it is sent well in advance.
Vigilance, as you know, is another issue that keeps cropping up. It is first of all an invasion of the privacy of students, but it has also been accused of moral policing for arbitrarily penalizing students for things like having used condoms, for instance. As an aspiring HAS, what is your take on this?
Yeah, so I'm not altogether against the intent of the vigilance team, but the way it is currently functioning, I'm definitely not okay with it, because there have been multiple instances where students have been attending placement or internship interviews, and these people come in between, and there's a lot of chaos that arises in that situation. So as an aspiring HAS, as a GSP member in general, I feel that there is a need to sensitize these people about the situations that students face, and when exactly to go for it, and when to give the students the freedom to say no when they're actually not in a position to let them in or something. And there's also a need to frame better rules of framework for the functioning of the vigilance team, is what I feel.
My final question for you is your manifesto point also includes revamping HFC by replacing the steel tables. While I see where you're coming from, how do you intend to make this compatible with the thrust to sustainability in your manifesto, considering that the removal of existing tables will add on to the steel waste?
So I wanted to go for the revamp of HFC to create a more inviting experience for our students. At the same time, I'm also aware about the waste that this is going to generate. So there is definitely an alternative plan for this as well. Right now, the institute is working on something called as reimagining campus infrastructure by having more of blue-green type of infrastructure, wherein a particular consultancy is actually working on to improve eco-friendly workspaces and cycling paths and walking paths and all of that. Their core focus is not to just get new things, but to put things that are already existing into an alternative use. So the tables replaced from here also will be accommodated into having an outdoor sitting space or something of that sort, so that because I believe sustainability is not just about discarding what we don't use anymore, but giving the things that we don't use anymore an alternative use. So I believe the tables replaced from this also will be put into an alternative use like this.
Thank you and all the best for your campaign.